Story 1. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled deep within the dense forest, there existed a legend whispered among the locals. It spoke of a mysterious entity known as the Shadow Walker, a spectral figure said to lurk in the shadows of the ancient trees, preying upon unsuspecting travelers who dared to venture into the woods after dark. The legend traced back centuries, originating from a time when the village was plagued by a series of inexplicable disappearances. Desperate for answers, the villagers turned to their folklore, believing that the Shadow Walker was responsible for the vanishing souls. Among the villagers was a brave young woman named Emily, whose curiosity and adventurous spirit often led her to explore the forest's depths. Despite the warnings of the elders, Emily remained undeterred, determined to uncover the truth behind the legend of the Shadow Walker. One fateful evening, as the moon cast an eerie glow upon the forest, Emily ventured into the woods alone, armed only with a flickering lantern and her unwavering resolve. She navigated through the gnarled roots and twisting vines, her senses alert to any sign of danger. As Emily delved deeper into the heart of the forest, a sense of unease washed over her, and the dense foliage seemed to close in around her like a suffocating embrace. Strange whispers echoed through the trees, and shadows danced menacingly in the dim light, sending shivers down her spine. Suddenly, Emily stumbled upon an ancient clearing, bathed in an otherworldly glow. In the center stood a towering oak tree, its branches twisted and contorted into grotesque shapes. At the base of the tree lay a weathered tome, bound in faded leather and adorned with arcane symbols. Intrigued by the mysterious book, Emily approached cautiously and began to decipher its cryptic pages. But as she read aloud the incantations inscribed within, a malevolent presence stirred in the darkness, drawn forth by the invocation of forbidden magic. With a deafening roar, the Shadow Walker emerged from the shadows, its form a twisted amalgamation of darkness and despair. Emily's heart raced with fear as she realized the grave mistake she had made, but it was too late to turn back now. The Shadow Walker advanced with unnatural speed, its eyes gleaming with malice as it reached out with skeletal hands to claim its latest victim. Emily's screams pierced the night as she fought desperately to escape the grasp of the spectral entity, but its power was too great to overcome. In the end, Emily became just another nameless soul lost to the forest, her fate forever entwined with the legend of the Shadow Walker. And as dawn broke over the horizon, casting its golden rays upon the haunted woods, the villagers whispered in hushed tones of the brave young woman who dared to defy the darkness, only to be consumed by it in the end. Story 2. Once upon a time, in a forgotten corner of the world, there existed a village shrouded in mystery. Tucked away in the dense forest, the village of Ravenswood was said to be cursed by ancient spirits, its past veiled in darkness and whispers of sinister secrets. Few dared to venture near, fearing the malevolent forces that lurked within its shadowed streets. Legend had it that long ago, the villagers had made a pact with a malevolent entity known as the Shadow King in exchange for prosperity. But when they failed to uphold their end of the bargain, the village was condemned to eternal darkness, haunted by the vengeful spirits of those who had perished. One stormy night, a group of adventurous friends decided to explore the abandoned village, drawn by tales of its eerie history. Ignoring the warnings of locals, they entered Ravenswood under the cover of darkness, their curiosity overpowering their sense of caution. As they wandered through the deserted streets, they felt an oppressive atmosphere weighing down on them, as if the very air was thick with malice. Shadows danced on the crumbling walls of dilapidated houses, and the sound of disembodied whispers echoed through the deserted alleyways. Suddenly, they stumbled upon an old, decrepit mansion at the heart of the village, its once grand facade now a mere shadow of its former glory. Intrigued, they decided to explore its decaying halls, unaware of the horrors that awaited them within. As they stepped over the threshold, they were enveloped by an icy chill that seemed to seep into their bones. The air was heavy with the scent of decay, and strange symbols adorned the walls, pulsating with an otherworldly energy. Deep within the bowels of the mansion, they discovered a hidden chamber shrouded in darkness. In the center of the room stood an ancient altar, adorned with sinister carvings and surrounded by flickering candles. Unbeknownst to them, they had stumbled upon the lair of the Shadow King, who had been lying dormant for centuries, waiting for unsuspecting victims to wander into his domain. As they approached the altar, they felt a sense of dread wash over them, but it was too late to turn back now. Suddenly, the candles flared to life, casting eerie shadows on the walls, and a deep, guttural voice echoed through the chamber, promising doom to all who trespassed in his domain. Terrified, the friends attempted to flee, but the doors slammed shut behind them, trapping them in the darkness. They were at the mercy of the Shadow King, who hungered for their souls to fuel his eternal power. One by one, they succumbed to the darkness, their screams echoing through the halls of the mansion as they were consumed by the malevolent entity. And as dawn broke over Ravenswood, the village returned to its slumber, its secrets buried once more in the depths of the forest, waiting for the next unsuspecting visitors to awaken its wrath. Story 3. Once upon a moonlit night, in the heart of a dense forest shrouded in mist, a group of curious explorers embarked on a journey into the unknown. Among them were seasoned adventurers, thrill-seekers, and skeptics alike, drawn together by the allure of the mysteries lurking within the forest's depths. As they ventured deeper into the woods, they stumbled upon an ancient, overgrown path barely visible beneath the tangle of foliage. Ignoring the warnings whispered by the wind, they pressed on, their footsteps muffled by the thick carpet of fallen leaves. Suddenly, they came upon a clearing bathed in an otherworldly glow, the air thick with an eerie silence that seemed to suffocate all sound. At the center of the clearing stood a towering monolith, its surface etched with strange symbols that seemed to pulse with a faint, otherworldly light. Intrigued yet cautious, the explorers approached the monolith, their senses on high alert. As they drew closer, they felt a palpable sense of unease wash over them, as if unseen eyes were watching their every move from the shadows. With trembling hands, they reached out to touch the surface of the monolith, their fingertips grazing the cool, smooth stone. In that moment, a surge of energy coursed through their bodies, sending shivers down their spines and filling their minds with visions of things long forgotten. Suddenly, the forest around them seemed to come alive with malevolent intent, the trees twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes that loomed ominously overhead. Desperate to escape the suffocating embrace of the forest, the explorers turned to flee, only to find their path blocked by an impenetrable wall of thorns. Trapped and disoriented, they stumbled blindly through the underbrush, their hearts pounding in their chests as the darkness closed in around them. Strange whispers filled the air, taunting them with promises of unspeakable horrors lurking just beyond the veil of shadows. In the distance, they could hear the sound of distant drums beating a haunting rhythm, drawing them inexorably towards an unknown fate. With each step, the forest seemed to grow darker, the shadows more sinister, until they could no longer tell reality from illusion. As they struggled to find their way out of the forest's clutches, they realized with dawning horror that they had stumbled into a realm untouched by time, a place where nightmares roamed free and the boundaries between worlds blurred into nothingness. In the end, only one of the explorers managed to escape the forest's grasp, their mind fractured and their spirit broken by the horrors they had witnessed. The others were never seen again, their fates forever entwined with the dark heart of the forest, lost to the mists of time. Story 4. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, nestled among the towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, lies an old abandoned theater, its faded marquee bearing the name The Phantom's Playhouse. Once a grand venue for the arts, It now stands decrepit and forgotten, its halls echoing with whispers of a dark past. Legend has it that the theater was once home to a renowned playwright, known only as the Maestro, who was said to possess an otherworldly talent for crafting the most mesmerizing and macabre productions. But as his fame grew, so too did his obsession with perfection, driving him to delve into forbidden realms of magic and madness. One fateful night, during the opening performance of his latest masterpiece, tragedy struck. A mysterious fire consumed the theater, claiming the lives of the entire cast and crew, including the maestro himself. Since that fateful night, the theater has remained abandoned, shrouded in mystery and rumored to be haunted by the vengeful spirit of the maestro. Despite the warnings of locals, a group of thrill-seekers decides to explore the derelict theater, eager to uncover its secrets and perhaps even experience a brush with the supernatural. As they step through the crumbling entrance, they are greeted by the musty smell of decay and the eerie silence of the abandoned halls. As they venture deeper into the theater, strange occurrences begin to unfold. Phantom footsteps echo through the corridors, and disembodied whispers seem to emanate from the shadows. Doors slam shut behind them, trapping them in a labyrinth of forgotten passages and hidden chambers. One by one, the members of the group start to disappear, vanishing without a trace as if swallowed by the darkness itself. Panic sets in as those remaining struggle to find a way out, their nerves fraying with each passing moment. In the dim light of their flickering flashlights, they stumble upon a hidden chamber beneath the stage, adorned with arcane symbols and blood-red curtains. It is here that they come face to face with the maestro's ghostly apparition, his eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. The spirit of the maestro reveals the truth behind the fire that consumed the theater so many years ago, confessing to a pact made with dark forces in exchange for his unparalleled talent. Bound to the theater for eternity, he now seeks to claim the souls of those who dare to trespass within his domain. With nowhere left to run, the survivors must confront the vengeful spirit head-on, battling against forces beyond their comprehension. But as the final curtain falls on their ill-fated adventure, the true horror of the Phantom's Playhouse is revealed, its dark secrets destined to remain buried beneath the rubble of the abandoned theater for all eternity.